Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, we're still here in Arcata, actually right on the border of Arcata and Eureka here in California, and it's time to say goodbye to California. We've been here long enough. We saw our redwoods. This is what we wanted to do. So this is as far south as we are going to travel. Today, we begin traveling more southwest. We're coming away from the coast and going to head towards Reno, Nevada. And that's mostly because the 101 goes inland now for a ways and stays inland for hundreds of miles until it gets to San Francisco area. And we just don't want to go that far south. So we're headed towards Reno, going to work our way back towards Rapid City. We did have to stop here at the Safeway because the hotel we stayed at last night, which was a dump again, by the way, they didn't have, they had coffee, but they didn't have any coffee creamer. So we had to stop here and pick up some of our favorite coffee creamer and a couple of bananas so we can hit the road. So currently we are on Highway 299. It's split off from 101 right there at Arcata, and it's going to take us basically over to Redding. Once we're in Redding, we'll have to jump over into 44 and a couple other roads to get over towards the Reno area. But as you can see, we definitely woke up to a much smokier morning than when we went to bed last night. There's another road that splits off of 101 up north, up there by Crescent City, and it was 199, but it was closed because of these forest fires. But that's not the way I wanted to take anyways. I wanted to come down the coast a little bit further through the redwoods. So we're still on plan or on track for the route that we wanted to go.
Truck's coming.
Well, guys, we are 50-60 miles into Route 299. We're about halfway between where we were in Redding, I think. However, with all the smoke, the visibility's just been kind of crappy. I mean, it's beautiful through here. Don't get me wrong. We're running on this road along the Trinity River basin, and it's just gorgeous scenery. But with the smoke, we're not getting any long-range views. It's even a little smoky and uncomfortable in the car. There's also been a number of places, like where we're sitting right now, where they're down to one lane. So they've got the stoplights, and we had to sit here and wait for all those cars to go by before we go. We've been sitting here 10 or 15 minutes now, but it's a beautiful spot to be stuck. Hopefully in a little while, things will clear up and maybe we'll get a little bit more footage. Guys, coming through the little town of Weaverville. It's a cute little town, very old western kind of style. As you can see, it's still very, very smoky. All right, guys, we made it to Redding, and we stopped here at this little Food Mart comment station. We're just about where 299 and I-5 meet together, and had to top off with some fuel and go to the bathroom. I mean, I thought I was going to pee myself. I had to go so bad. Anyway, as you can see, we're in the valley now, but before we got down here, you could definitely tell there was a big difference in landscape change. We went through some really beautiful areas, and I'm sorry that with the smoke we didn't get a lot of it. It's still a little smoky out, but it's not that bad anymore. But the last, I don't know, probably 20 miles or so, we were out of that lush forest. We were still in mountains, but like the trees were scraggly and most of them were completely barren. and they're only few and far between. It was almost desert-like, but not quite. I mean, maybe it was considered semi-arid. I don't know for sure, but I don't know. We're fueled up. We gotta stop and grab some lunch somewhere, and then we're gonna get back on the road. All right, so we decided on this place called Roots for lunch, and we're just doing smoothies. Kind of eating a little bit light today. We wanted to keep moving. This was quick and easy. Looks like it was an old Wendy's if you look at it. But so far, smoothie's pretty good. I got a blueberry something or another. All right, guys, east of Redding, and now the landscape changes again. This almost feels like going through the Ocala National Forest in Florida. There are mountains off in the distance. You can't see them at this moment, but very rural and Florida feeling right here. All right, guys, well, I know it's a little bit breezy up here, but we just come through this area and climbed quite a ways, and there's a nice view of the river right here. All right, so this is Hat Creek Valley behind me. You can see the road running down here. Now, we would have been on that road, but 44 kind of kicks over when it got to Feather Lake Road. So if we would have kept going straight, I guess that would take you all the way up to Mount Shasta at some point, which is still about 90, 95 miles away. And according to this, you can see it on a clear day. Today is not a clear day. You can still see there's a lot of smoke that direction. It's not so much behind us, but there's a lot over here still as well. But anyway, we can't stick around. We still got about 20 miles or so to go until we get to Reno. So we're gonna get back on the road. Guys, this is the town of Susanville. We just come down to 6% grade into the town. All right, guys, we have left Susanville, and look, it looks very deserty now. Semi-arid, whatever you want to call it. And it got hot. It's 85 degrees now. It was 60 something through most of the mountains over on the western side. And then I got into the 70s over there by Redding. All right, guys, and we're kind of like on this edge. If you look to the right of us, all these mountains here, green with trees. Look ahead, looks a little bit different. Then over here, there's this complete valley of flatness. And then the mountains off to that side are like desert. All right, guys, so I started to notice when we were passing that valley that I could see water, but it was grassy water. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it really was. So Katie did some online research, and that is Honey Lake, and apparently that lake dries up almost completely every summer because I guess it's a very shallow lake, and that's why it looked like a big flat weird valley, because it's actually a lake bed that's kind of grassy, but there was very little water in it. There were spots where you could see wetness, but with grass growing through it, so it was a little weird looking at first. And we're not there yet, but it's starting to look like Nevada. All right, so the road we're on, 395, is kind of curved a little bit to the south. We're only 36 miles from Reno, but we're still in California. However, everything you see out of this window is actually Nevada. Everything you see out of that window is California. We're literally running right parallel to the state line, and it's only like 100 feet that way.
Nevada, California. Nevada, California. Nevada, California.
All right, guys, here we are. We made it to Nevada, downtown Reno. I guess Katie and I are going to go find the Nugget. That's where we're going to go stay for the night, I think, and probably get some dinner. All right, guys, slight change of plans. You know, we were going to go to the Golden Nugget because they had a steakhouse and a room that was relatively inexpensive. And we looked at the menu, and it was $100 for a steak. I'm not paying $100 for steak. I'll get one here for $23.99. Not trying to be cheap, but I just don't think it's that much better of a steak. So we zipped on over here to the Texas Roadhouse. We'll probably still go back to the Nugget for a room, but first we're going to get some dinner. All right, guys, so we decided against the Golden Nugget. We came over to this place here. It's called America's Best Value Inn, whatever. It's kind of an off the wall. Never even heard of that name before, but it's pretty nice and it's relatively inexpensive. Just with taxes and everything, $119, not too bad. But what's awesome is it's pretty much attached to a Petro. So getting coffee in the morning, getting your fuel and getting on the road will be super easy tomorrow morning. Super easy. Anyways, guys, this is where we are going to call home for the night. It's actually a pretty nice place for the price. We got full bellies ready for bed, and we're going to have a good start to be able to just jump on I-80 and head east in the morning, because we're already in Sparks, Nevada, technically, which is already the east side. So get that little bit of a jump start in the morning. All right, guys, we're going to close this one here. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time I see you.
Keep those engines running.
A little late on the cue, but whatever.